If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
You don't technically need this car. You say that out loud to yourself. You say, I have no space. You say, I'm just looking. Then you click. Then you zoom in on photo number 87 and whisper, oh no. Then you text a friend, the one who always enables you. You say to yourself, this is the last one, knowing it is not. You don't need this car. But maybe, just maybe, this car needs you. Bring a trailer. It's never just a car.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
One, I hope you folks had a lovely weekend. Two, Dominic Carter here with you. Three, let's go ahead and open up the phone lines right at the top of the show, 800-848-9222. That's the number to reach me live over the course of the next 2 hours. I see some of your calls are already coming in, and we'll get to them momentarily, so please stand by. Well, Mayor-elect of New York City, Mamdani, finally had something to say about the 20-year-old member of the National Guard that was ambushed in D.C. He put out a comment on his social media a full 24 hours after the incident, and New York's incoming mayor did not use the word murdered, did not use the word ambushed, and made no reference at all to the shooter. Of course, we're talking about Sarah Beckstrom, who started the National Guard in West Virginia in just June of 2023. 20 years old, shot fatally in the head and chest. President Trump fully supports, and it is the right thing to do. You've seen lots of videos and protests about it, but the ICE arrest at the Manhattan Federal Court in Lower Manhattan, you'll hear the president's words momentarily. And U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Jay Clayton, talks quality of life for New Yorkers in an interview with our station owner, John Katsimatidis, this morning. But before we get to that, making common sense. You know, folks, 2 + 2 = 4. Listen to Congressman Wesley Hunt of Texas.
Now, I'm sitting here right now, and I got to tell y'all, I'm black, and I'm a veteran. I have 6 forms of government ID. 6. I've been black for my whole life. I've been a veteran since 2000 when I was at West Point. The insinuation that black and brown people cannot get an ID to vote like every other citizen, regardless of your race, religion, color, or creed, is insulting. I actually refer to this as the soft bigotry of low expectations. We, as all Americans, should want free and fair elections. We aren't making it more difficult for people to get an ID to vote. I have an 18-month-old little boy. Do you know the first thing that he got when he was born that I had to sign for? A birth certificate.
And the congressman there making a lot of sense. Something else where 2 + 2 = 4 in this day of highly partisan politics throughout the country. President Trump sounding off on the arrest. He was asked about the arrests that occur that is frequently at the federal court in Lower Manhattan. You see the videos on social media. The left tries to spin it like ICE is the devil and they're doing all bad, when actually what they're doing is enforcing American laws. The President of the United States asked about those arrests.
Mr. President, on immigration, ICE are making arrests, targeted arrests at courthouses in New York City and around the country to the consternation of
criminals.
Yeah. So what's your reaction to that?
I'm happy about it. I want them to arrest criminals. And if you take a look at D.C., a year ago, D.C. was our great capital was a very unsafe place. You know that. Some of you were mugged, and talk openly about it. Some of the media was mugged. But right now, D.C. is one of the safest places in the whole country.
So the president assessing the situation accurately, but again, they even, those on the left, they blame him for the ambush of these 2 National Guards members, which is absolutely despicable. What I also find despicable, in setting up this issue, as we talk about what's happened over the last couple of days, believe it or not, there are some in the Muslim community that feel they are the victims. They are the victims here in America. Different groups, and I'm trying to choose my words very carefully, different groups come here for better opportunity. But to listen to some in the Muslim community, they are the victims. So normally I try my best not to pay attention to her. Ilhan Omar, Congresswoman, she says there's a lot of hate in this country for Muslims, not the other way around, not Muslims hating Americans, but Americans hating Muslims, and that there's a lot of severe hate for immigrants. Again, this coming from Ilhan Omar.
Why do you think Nancy Mace is targeting you as much as she is?
It's an easy clickbait. There is a lot of hate in this country for Muslims. There's a lot of hate in this country for black people, especially black women. And there is a lot of hate, severe hate, for immigrants. And so I fit them all. She knows that she can easily raise money and get support for her bigotry from her bigoted, the bigoted people who want to give money to her campaign. But the reality is, in this country, the First Amendment does not only protect speech, it protects the right and liberty for anybody to practice their faith. I do practice the Muslim faith. I am an immigrant. I am proud of both of those things. And I was, of course, born in Somalia, which the president likes to mention. And I'm also proud of my Somali heritage, and that is not something that they can take away from me. And I just want to say, one thing that the president should understand is that you can't impeach a sitting member of Congress. And it is unfortunate that the members of Congress have not educated their uneducated president about how things work in Congress.
So, she just said she's a proud member, proud of her heritage, as she should be, from Somalia. But you come here and you want to criticize everything American. So why not just go back to Somalia? Oh, because you're a total phony. But I'm trying to figure out, folks, there's a wave sweeping America. So I see your calls. I'm going to start with a stranger, a blast from the past of Valeria on line 1 in Florida in just a second. But there's a wave, and I don't understand this wave of Somalian-born people that are here in America getting elected to public office. Muslim Americans getting elected to public office in a sweep. So I want you to listen to this woman, a Maine state senator. She represents Maine. Now, folks, how did this woman get elected in Maine to the state house? And in this clip, she's expressing her disdain, if you will, for America.
Thing. So coming into the States, everything from the snow to, the housing, the homes that we were all of a sudden occupying, everything was a shock, honestly. Every day was something new, and I'm like, oh my God, this is just getting worse. Yeah,
So what state did you guys land, first of all? Kansas City.
Of all places, yeah. It was like a boot camp for Maine, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's just anyone who lives in Maine knows Maine and has ever visited Kansas, they will know what I'm talking about. It's just a lot to deal with. as a person of color, honestly, or a black person.
So here's what I can tell you, folks. I've been to the state of Kansas about 6 or 7 times delivering speeches. Now, yes, I was only there for a couple of days, maybe 3, 4, 5 days at best. Seemed to be a lovely state to me. I didn't encounter any problems. Now, I was only there for a few days. But how dare you come here from Somalia? And I've been to Somalia too, and that's a hell on earth. A hell on earth. We were told at the military base, which was set up at the Mogadishu airport, do not leave this air base, because if you do, there are snipers on top of the roofs, and while you may have on a bulletproof vest, Mr. Carter, they're going to take aim at your head. It was the absolute worst. When we got to Somalia, they barely had running water, which we couldn't drink. At the base, which was set up at the airport, which had been abandoned, the Mogadishu airport, they had to bring in the engineers to set up bathrooms, to set up shower facilities. There was no place to sleep except for your cot. And there were these huge, I think mosquitoes, huge bugs, where your cot had to be surrounded with mesh. And it was hot as hell. And I became delirious, folks, when I arrived in Mogadishu. We had to fly first to an unknown base, because it can't be known, because then they would target it with terrorism. And from there, we had to jump, which was about 6 hours from Mogadishu, from the airport. And then we had to catch a military flight, military each way, but to get to Mogadishu. And you've got the nerve, each of you, to criticize America? So why do you want to be here? If it's so bad, why are you here? So I want to also go back to the meeting between President Trump and Mamdani at the Oval Office, because a lot of things have happened. I haven't had time to really focus on it. We're going to go back to that in just a second. But first, I want to start with some of your calls. 800-848-9222 on this Sunday night. Let's start with Valeria in Florida. Where have you been, young lady?
Hi, Dominic. I've been really busy with work and family, but I'm thinking of you all weekend as I was in New Jersey looking at the New York skyline. And last night, I met one of your ardent supporters that listens to your daily show and your night show. And I want to give a big shout out to Karen from New Jersey. She's a fellow hustle dancer. And I introduced myself to her because she was sitting next to a friend of mine. And I said hello to my friend and her. And I said, I'm Valeria. She said, oh, my goodness, you're Valeria from the Dominic Carter show. I said, what? I said, how would you know that? She said, I listen to him all day and all night. I said, Karen, I'm going to try to call him on Sunday night, and I'm going to do a shout-out to Karen. So shout-out to Karen, and hello, Dominic, I love you. Dominic, this whole Somali thing has me very upset. And I went on YouTube, and I saw a YouTube podcast of a young man. He's from the United States of America, and he was just in Somalia 5 months ago. He had to go with armed guards, and he's a podcaster, and he gave us a good glimpse of what Somalia is like. And there's some good news, Dominic. Some young Somali kids that were brought to the United States as refugees have made their way back to Somalia. There are 2 governing factions there, and there's still a lot of fighting there. But it seems as though the Somalis that are there, that are normal, that are not freeloaders like Ilhan Omar and the rest of the bad ones, they want to create their country again. So there might be hope. So let's kick them out and let's send them back to Somalia and let them figure it out for themselves.
Absolutely. And no support from taxpayers as well.
Exactly.
You got all this mouth. Everything's so bad here. So how about stop marrying relatives, Ilhan Omar, and make it on your own? How about that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And here's the thing. If we can carry on the tradition where you have to love this country and you have to prove that you're not going to be on welfare before you come here, and while you're here, if we can carry on that tradition after Trump leaves office with J.D. Vance or Governor DeSantis, whoever becomes our Republican president, we can do it. I mean, that's what we have to do. We just have to get tough. Bukele, the president of El Salvador, he said that it's the arrests and the incarcerations that have made that country safe again and made that country prosperous. That's what we have to do. We have to either ship them to El Salvador where it's cheaper for us to incarcerate them, or build better prisons and make our laws stronger, and then don't let the freeloading maniac terrorists in here, and we'll make it. It's going to be a lot of hard work. We're going to have some setbacks, but we can do it. And God bless America, and you're a great American, Dominic Carter. I love you.
Thank you. The love goes right back at you. I have two questions for you before I let you go.
Okay.
You said, and rightfully so, you come here and not on the public dime, prove that you won't be on welfare and work and earn your way. How did we get to the point that you come here and just get a free pass, free? We give you everything that taxpayers don't get. Taxpayers are paying for it, but you can have it. How did we get to that point?
Well, it started in the Reagan administration, unfortunately, and I wouldn't say it was Reagan per se, but it was like people in his administration where they were making like a lot of leniency for people like with amnesty and the chain migration. But let me tell you a quick story. My friend's daughter immigrated to Australia, and she had to prove herself many years in a row as a dual citizen from the United States and Ireland, that she had a job and that she had a bank account that would support her for at least 6 months to a year if she lost her job after she immigrated to Australia and got her working papers. So it was a very long process, and she was vetted very carefully by the Australians. So, you know, these other countries, they want us to take all this garbage, but they don't want to take the garbage. So we got to start saying, hey, we're not taking any more garbage in this country, okay? Well, period. End of story. Full stop. Get lost.
President Trump, and that's going to be our lead next hour, has said if you come from a third world country, you're permanently banned from here, as should be the case. But you and I both know that's going to be tied up in court. So the next question I have for you, and he hasn't even signed the paperwork yet. The last question I have for you, I've seen your videos of you dancing. So the young lady that you met, she hustles as well. Dancing?
Yes, she's like, I call her the ballerina hustler. She's very petite and very graceful. I love her. Her name is Karen. I'm going to post a picture of Karen and I. And last night, I forgot my dance shoes, so you're going to laugh your butt off. I had a dancing clogs, wooden clogs, like from the 70s.
Okay, but wait.
Yes, I'll post the video.
Here's the question that I have. How can one do the hustle dance? I know thousands of people did it, but not everybody do it well. You're one of the best. I've seen your videos. How do you do it and maintain your breathing while you're dancing for a 5-minute song at that pace?
It's like any other cardiovascular sport. Like I swim and I jog and I bicycle. So it's just like you just don't get yourself all nerved up. You just keep it slow and steady, just slow and steady. Like when you're swimming, if you ever swim laps.
But you're moving very fast. So how can you keep it slow and steady?
Not that fast. It just looks fast to you because you're so sweet, and you haven't seen like the superstars. I'm far from the superstar stratosphere, but I try hard, and I had ballet training in good old Rhode Island, where I was born and raised, and that really helps you if you've had ballet training from a child, because it goes in what you call your muscle memory. And when you swim and you walk, you do race walking or jogging, you learn about your breathing, so you don't get that little sharp pain in the side of your like thoracic area because you're not breathing properly. But it's just practice, Dominic. Us girls, we could come and give you a few lessons, and you and your wife will be superstars on the floor, and you'll have a lot of fun with us. And it's great exercise.
Well, I was actually thinking about me, Tony, and Matt Blaze trying to hustle. I think all of you ladies will be like, oh, these three are a lost cause. Never mind.
I'll set you up with the best of teachers, and you will have a blast, and you'll be superstars. And WABC will be doing all type of exposés on your dancing extravaganza.
Well, Counselor, it's so nice to hear from you. I haven't chatted with you for a while. I was getting a little concerned that I hadn't heard from you, but I'm glad you're doing well.
Thank you, my lovely. I missed you so much, and God bless you and your beautiful, beautiful family. Hi, Karen.
Thank you, and have your new friend, tell her to give us a call. She listens to the program. Tell her to give us a call. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Valeria calling from Florida, our house hustler dancer, the hustle, our house attorney, one of the attorneys, our house all-around lovely woman. Thank you so much for the call. So we see your other calls. We're going to get to them. I'm here with you until 1 a.m. this morning. I want to go back. Let's rewind together. And I want to go back to that meeting between Mamdani and President Trump in the Oval Office. Remember that one? That odd meeting, right? And I'm like, okay, there's got to be a method to the madness. President Trump has to be playing chess here while Mamdani is playing checkers. It has to be. So after that meeting, Mamdani went on a podcast, and I want you to listen to how he described the actual meeting.
How did you keep that face?
Honestly, I was just thinking about New York City.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the whole time I was trying to think about the difference between if you have a White House that is working towards an affordability agenda or one that's making it harder to live in the city.
Yeah.
That's kind of what kept...
Did you expect him to like you as much as he did?
I was trying to prepare for a lot of different situations.
I know. It's like when you're on that plane taking that selfie, I mean, that could have gone in any direction. I mean, like, did that feel best case scenario, or like, were you like...
I mean, honestly felt like the most productive meeting we could have had.
Yeah.
I mean, a meeting where we talked about ULURP, we talked about, groceries, Con Ed, rent, childcare. That feels like the best meeting you could have.
Yeah. Were Eric or Donald Jr. there?
No. It was,
Did you worry that like to see that was maybe difficult for them?
No, I wasn't thinking about that.
Maybe it's like the hang has just been so bad. This cool guy came, and he's like, now I have to go back to these guys. Did he say, can you sleep over? Did he come up to New York and see you?
He didn't ask me that.
Oh, man. I mean, it was one of the most surreal things we've ever seen.
So what's that saying, you're too cute by half? I don't know the full implication of it. Hey, Blaze or Tony, you guys know exactly what that means?
I have no idea.
Okay, yeah, it's a saying that you're too, or she's too cute by half. You're not as cute or smart as you think you are. Blaze, you got a definition on that one?
No, I would. It sounds kind of dopey. You're too cute by half. But it's a saying that's
out there.
You're too cute by half, so you're cute, but not that cute.
Meaning you think
you're only half a cute.
You're right. Meaning you think you're so smart, but you're not. What I want you guys to brief up on coming up next hour, and in a minute we're going to take a break first, but we're going to hear the president responding from that meeting, in which again it was really bizarre. In which the president was asked, would he live in New York? Would he be comfortable living in New York under a Mayor Mamdani? And he said, absolutely, yes. And so we're going to deal with that. But what I want you guys to come up with a response for the 12:30 hour, it's happened again in terms of a female adult figure having sex with a minor. And it's a phenomenon that has me like, I can't understand, because it happens a lot with correction officers in New York City. They listen to these bums running game. And if they had game, they wouldn't be in jail. And then next thing you know, a female CO is knocked up, is pregnant, carrying a baby by this loser. And now the whole cycle starts all over again. And then the COs sometimes get caught. We saw upstate where you had that female employee of the state court of the state correction system. She went to jail for having a relationship and giving the guys the tools to escape. And she was married but they said she was lonely. And so this happened in Australia. A teacher just gave birth 8 weeks ago. This is Australia, but it's happened many times here in America. And she was having sex. She pleaded out to having sex with a 15-year-old student. And guys, I'm baffled by this, because what I don't understand, right? What I'm not getting is, and let's be honest, any woman in America, any woman in the world can walk into a bar, right? If we're being honest, and pick any man in the bar that she wants to go home with and sleep with, and go sleep with him that night. If that's what it's kind of slutty, but if that's what she chooses to do, she can do it, right? So why would you sleep with a 15-year-old kid? And this keeps happening over and over and over. There are so many things that we've got to get to in the course of the next hour and a half. Venezuela, President Trump laying down the law. And folks, the president is doing the right thing. Shoot those boats down. Tell the leader there that, yes, you got to go. There's a report that he told Maduro, you got to go. You can leave. Now, this is a report. I don't know how accurate it is, that you and your family can leave, but the window to leave is very, very short. The drugs are coming from Venezuela, and the president of the United States is trying to protect the American people. So many things we've got to get to. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
Greg Kelly here. Donate now to toysfortots.org, working year-round delivering hope to children at Christmas time and beyond. In 2024, Toys for Tots provided over 30 million toys to nearly 13 million children in need. Donate now, please. Go to toysfortots.org. Since 1947, Toys for Tots has distributed 708 million toys to 314 million deserving children. Working year-round, Toys for Tots. Donate now. Go to toysfortots.org. That's toysfortots.org.
This is a real good story about Bronx and his dad, Ryan, real United Airlines customers.
We were returning home, and one of the flight attendants asked Bronx if he wanted to see the flight deck and meet Captain Andrew.
I got to sit in the driver's seat.
I grew up in an aviation family, and seeing Bronx kind of reminded me of myself when I was that age.
That's Andrew, a real United pilot.
These small interactions can shape a kid's future.
It felt like I was the captain.
Allowing my son to see the flight deck will stick with us forever.
That's how good leads the way.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Dominic Carter here with you until 1 a.m., 800-848-9222. We see your calls. In a moment, we're going to go to William in central New Jersey, and I may regret this, but Melvin in the Bronx. One thing that I'm happy about, that I'm really happy about, Secretary Kristi Noem, the Trump administration is not playing around. It's why I voted for him, and I'm sure for many of you that voted for him, it's the same reason why you did as well. The secretary announcing, she was asked, will you deport people, here's the key part, with pending asylum claims? Pending. She says absolutely yes. And based on what happened with the National Guard, just 4 days ago, 5 days ago, it's absolutely the right choice and the right decision to make.
Will you deport people with pending asylum claims, Madam Secretary?
We will if they should be. Absolutely. Yes, we are going to go through every single person
that has a pending asylum claim has an asylum claim here in this country. You know, one of the requirements of asylum is that you have to come in every single year for a checkup and an interview process and a re-vetting, and that is something that we're going to expedite and happen immediately with anyone who does have that asylum claim today, and ensure that they deserve to still be in this country, that they still have the purposes for which they claimed that asylum in place, and that they're not here being radicalized and perpetuating dangerous criminal activity against our Americans.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. So we'll get back to what President Trump had to say. It happened 2 weeks ago? Seems like it was 8 years ago. The Mamdani meeting at the White House with President Trump. President Trump asked if he would be okay living in New York under Mayor Mamdani, saying yes. I don't know if the president is playing nice because of the midterms. I don't know if the president is playing nice because Democrats are expected to maybe get 1 or 2 seats in the House. I don't know, but I will say he's always playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. So I want to skip for a moment because this is an important conversation. And U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton, right, of the Southern District, the most important U.S. Attorney's office in the country. And his big thing happens to be quality of life, improving quality of life for people of New York, for people of the New York tri-state area. The U.S. Attorney for the Southern District sat down just this morning with our station owner, John Catsimatidis, talking quality of life.
Well, John, last time we were together, and look, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Well, last time we were together, I talked about the operation that we did with the DEA and the New York Police Department in Washington Square Park to end the days of Washington Square Park being an open-air drug den. I'm happy to say that with the New York Police Department's continuing vigilance there, that Washington Square Park is now a park and not a drug den. And we're very happy about that. And John, we're looking for other places around the city, other public places, if it's public housing, other parks, well-known thoroughfares, where that type of operation should be brought. And look, it's as you always emphasize, it's a quality of life matter. You can't have a high quality of life. You can't have safety if you have open-air drug dealing, particularly if it involves fentanyl, cocaine, opioids, other drugs that kill.
Understood. Now, do you find your the job at the U.S. Attorney's Office getting even larger because of some of our cities? Well, New York City, Chicago, that the judges in those cities, when it comes to state judges or city judges, that they're not that federal judges are tougher. Explain that to the average person listening.
Well, federal law and both the detention decision by a judge when a person is charged, and then if a person who has been charged is proven to be guilty, the sentencing decision by federal judges, they are more interested in the protection of the public. In New York City, and I emphasize this because it's hard to believe, our city judges, our state judges, are not allowed to take into account the safety of the public when they make a detention decision, a bail-type decision. And I just find that to be amazing. It makes no sense. It should be about protecting the public, John. So one of the things that we're doing is on certain weeks, we are positioning our attorneys in precincts around the city, and when we have the most violent gun-toting criminals, we charge them federally if we can, because there's a greater likelihood of detention, and if we're able to prove the case, they're going to get and serve longer sentences. And that's what New York wants. New York, the New York people, they want gun-toting criminals off our streets.
they want quality of life in our streets. I just there was an incident in Chicago where a judge a perpetrator that has been 73 times arrested sets this woman on fire in Chicago, and the judge lets him go home.
Well, let me give you an example. Just this week, John, on Tuesday, a gentleman pled guilty to discharging a machine gun that ended up killing an innocent bystander. We charged that person federally. This happened in late August of this year. Now we're weeks later. He's already pled guilty, and he faces a 30-year mandatory minimum. If you're going to discharge a machine gun in New York and kill a bystander, you're going to do hard federal time.
And that's why we wanted you to hear the interview Mr. Catsimatidis did with the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District, Jay Clayton, because he's about improving quality of life throughout the tri-state area. But of course, you know, as it relates to the specific area of Manhattan, who in their right mind sprays with a machine gun and ended up killing an innocent bystander? And yes, they should do those 2/3 mandatory federal time of 30 years. Absolutely, that's what should happen. Dominic Carter here with you until 1 a.m. this morning. Let's go to line 3, William in Central New Jersey. William, good evening. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I had a pretty cool Thanksgiving, Dominic. I was up in Cape Cod, so I had a wonderful time with family. Thank you for asking.
Wow, so wait a minute. Wait. We'll get to the issue. What was it like in Cape Cod this time of the season, this time of the year?
Oh, my God. Well, my cousin, she has like an Airbnb, so she put me up, and I was like flabbergasted that, you know, they laid out the red carpet for me, and usually I just work. So this year I said, I'm going to pull it back. I'm going to see my family up there. I don't see them that much, and there was like 22 of us up there at the table.
So wait a minute. So you said normally you work. So like myself, I'm on the radio on the holidays, but I do it because I choose to do it. Because, well, to be honest with you, William, one of the reasons why I do it is because I've never met anybody that works harder, seriously, man, than our station owners, Margot Catsimatidis, John Catsimatidis. No one I know can match their schedules. They will lay you out if you try to match their schedules. And so what I've found, and I'm coming right back to your point, William, and then we'll get to what you're saying here. What I found is that hard work never kills you. And people that work hard, generally speaking, are successful in life. So every holiday, call me a little maybe I should say my elevator doesn't go to the top floor the way I say for AOC. But every holiday, I greatly enjoy working because I know that there are people with no family, and I feel they were all family members. So, okay, so this year you said you're not going to work. You're going to smell the roses. You went to Cape Cod. You got the great treatment at your relatives' bed and breakfast. Did they have the lovely breakfast out they always have out at bed and breakfasts?
Yeah, they're just very cool, and like I couldn't believe like the panoramic view as you look out. It's the deep blue ocean, and it just goes like I was like flabbergasted looking out because usually I don't see those things in the morning. As soon as I get up, I'm in the run, and then I'm embedded in my work schedule. I don't see much of the light. I'm into the darkness, and I get home very late.
Fair enough. What's on your mind tonight?
Okay, so what's in my mind is like Americans need to wake up because this country was raised on Judeo-Christian values, and these people like your friend out there in Detroit, what is her name again? I can't even pronounce. From Somalia.
Ilhan Omar.
I cannot take that woman. And I tell you one thing, Dominic.
You're not the only one. Hey, William, I want you to make your point. I got a lot of calls, but I want you to make your point. You're not the only one. Because I feel like she's poking us in the eye every time she talks, and she knows it. But go ahead.
We need to step up and get elected so these kind of people cannot get in office.
Exactly. Exactly. But here's the problem. Those that have come over from Somalia, they're all centrally located in one area, and they become a voting bloc. How that is, I'll never know.
It sounds like some form of conspiracy.
It sounds like something, because I want to know how maybe you can tell me. You just got back from Cape Cod. I've been to Maine once or twice. How could somebody from Somalia get elected to the state house in Maine? How is that?
That is like out of the question. Like, yeah, how does that happen? You know, and with all their ideas and overthrowing and Sharia law, no way. You know, there's places like in Detroit that they said you cannot go down this street. I'm like, what are you, crazy?
Right. I agree with you. Simply because you told me I can't go down this street, I'm going down it anyway. That's just the type of person I am. Hey, William, I got to go, but I'm so glad that you went to your relatives in Cape Cod. I'm glad you had a great time. Every now and then you got to stop and smell the roses. And I know I got to practice what I preach, because I really don't. But I'm glad that you had a great Thanksgiving. Thank you for the call, William in Central New Jersey. Time for a break. When we come back on this Sunday night, more of your telephone calls.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And we are back. So we've been talking in the last couple of minutes about the community as it relates to those here in America from Somalia. And Governor Dum Dum, Tim Walz, was on Meet the Press this morning and was asked about, very interesting, the $1 billion Somali fraud scandal. Guess where? In the state of Minnesota.
Well, speaking of the Somali community, President Trump is targeting them and your state in part. He's citing fraud as the reason for his crackdown. Dozens of people of East African descent have been charged, convicted, and sentenced for stealing more than $1 billion in taxpayer money from government programs during COVID. As you know, Governor, that is more than Minnesota spends each year to run its Department of Corrections. So I want to give you a chance to respond to this. Do you take responsibility for failing to stop this fraud in your state?
Well, certainly I take responsibility for putting people in jail. Governors don't get to just talk theoretically. We have to solve problems. And I will note, it's not just Somalis. Minnesota is a generous state. Minnesota is a prosperous state, a well-run state. We're AAA bond rated, but that attracts criminals. There's a reason Minnesota ranks as the top. Lowest childhood poverty, best place for children to live. People are taking advantage of that. They're going to prison. That is totally disconnected with demonizing an entire group of people who came here fleeing civil war and created a vibrant community that makes Minnesota and this country better. But that's Donald Trump. Deflect, demonize, come up with no solutions. He's not going to help fix anything on fraud.
My God, I can't take it anymore, Tony. Enough with Governor Dum Dum. I can't take it. I just can't. I try to be nice, folks, and give people their full say in their clips. I can't take this guy. By the way, President Trump says he's retarded. That's a word I try not to use. I have a special needs son, so in my household, I get in trouble if I dare say that word. And so I really shouldn't say it on the radio, but I'm quoting the President of the United States talking about Governor Dum Dum, Tim Walz of Minnesota. You know, Kamala's running mate. Birds of a feather. That's all I'll say. Mike in the Bronx, line 1. Mike, what's on your mind?
Yeah, Dominic, I think you're great. And I wanted to call about the guy who actually came on before you. And he said...
Okay, wait. Mike. How do I know what the guy said before me? Why are you calling me to ask me about what a show said before me?
No, it's just annoying the hell out of me. Talking about
I got it, Mike. Okay, Mike. Listen for a second and stop talking. Mike, listen for a second and stop talking. I'm going to give you your say, but it is ridiculous to ask me about what my colleague said while he's on the air. Guess what I'm doing, Mike?
Oh, no, listen, Dominic.
Mike, stop talking and listen. While he's on the air, what do you think I'm doing?
No, I'm not blaming anybody.
Mike, I want you to answer my question. While he's on the air, what do you think I'm doing?
Having a cup of coffee? I don't know.
No, I'm getting ready. I'm preparing for my show. You think I'm just sitting around listening to his show?
No,
I don't understand, and you're not the first one to do this. Why do people take the liberty to call me to react to what one of my colleagues said? Whatever my colleague said, that's on them. And right before me, Mike, and now I'm going to give you a say, right before me, I'm getting ready for this show. I'm not sitting around up until the minute before air. We're getting ready. I don't have time to sit and listen to what someone else said. But go ahead, Mike. You want to complain about what somebody else said that's not anything to do with this show. Go ahead.
I meant to call him. By the time I got through, you got on
Mike, that has nothing to do with me. Whether you reached him, whether you didn't reach him, that has nothing to do with me.
I'm just saying, I'm just so annoyed at the fact that he said that these four
guys... I'm done. I'm sorry, Mike. I can't do it.
Dominic is done with you.
I've wasted 3 to 4 minutes of what could be a valuable call, and you want to waste my time talking about what my colleague said prior to me, and I have no idea what my colleague said prior to me. Let's go to John, line 3, Long Island. John, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, my parents, I'm a son of an immigrant, and I can relate to this topic. People come to this country, and they don't have the balls in their own country to fight their own government, to give the kind of what we create in our country, freedom and liberty, but yet they come in and try to change our culture.
You're so accurate, John. I'm going to let you finish. You know why they don't fight it in their own country? Because they'll catch a bullet in the head. I'm telling you what I know about Somalia. So she can come here talking that crap, talk that crap in Somalia and see what will happen. Go ahead, John.
And they come in here emboldened, and yet they use our system against us.
Absolutely.
It's pathetic.
Absolutely.
And it's a tribal, like the call before said about, why they all vote the same way. It's tribalism. I got to say a quick thing, Don. My family's Italian. So we were kids, we got to vote Italian, you got to vote for the Comos. You know what? Thinking back now, I don't care what their background is, as long as they're the right person for the country. I don't care about their culture, the back of their color, or nothing. And that's what goes on with a lot of people. They want to vote for the same culture, yet they don't vote for the interests of the country or the well-being of the country. That's a sad situation. That's my point.
And you're correct. You are 1,000% correct in terms of what goes on. And I thank you very much, John, for the call. They don't stand up in their countries, but they want to come here on the public dime. And remember, at the end of the day, Ilhan Omar is paid by the taxpayers of this country. Think about that for a second. That she's paid by the taxpayers of this country. Let's go. I only have a little bit of time left in this hour. Let's go to Jerry in Manhattan, line 4. Jerry, time is short. You got about 45 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Dominic. Yeah, Trump is they're interdicting with these boats, these drug boats in Venezuela, and killing people who they assume are drug smugglers. Yet at the same time, he's pardoning this guy from Honduras, Hernandez.
So wait. So what should happen with the people with the boats?
Well, what's happening with the boats?
No, I didn't say what's happening. I said what should happen. Quickly, Jerry.
What should happen is you should determine who's actually a
That's what I thought. Thank you for the call, Jerry. Blow them up. President Trump, keep doing it. I'm sorry, Jerry. Jerry doesn't know what he's talking about. President Trump, keep blowing them up. They'll get the message. Hour number 2 is coming up.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. Jay Kelly, the new film from Academy Award nominee Noah Baumbach. George Clooney stars as an actor confronting his past and present on a journey of self-discovery, alongside Adam Sandler as his devoted manager. Critics are calling it a declaration of love to the chaotic art of filmmaking, with the Wall Street Journal praising it as a transcendent comedy drama. Watch Jay Kelly December 5th, only on Netflix.
This episode is brought to you by Marqeta. When it comes to your payments provider, you can't afford to compromise. Marqeta's modern payment solutions flex with your business without the trade-offs. Stable and agile, secure and innovative, scalable and configurable. If they say you can't have it all, don't believe them. Your business demands more. Choose a payments provider that delivers more. Choose Marqeta. Visit marqeta.com/Spotify to learn more.
And now a message from McAfee.
Your package couldn't be delivered.
You owe thousands in unpaid tolls.
You want a free gift.
If texts like these sound familiar, McAfee can help. McAfee automatically identifies text and email scams as well as AI-generated audio to help you stay safe. If they're faking it, they're not making it past us. Get award-winning scam detection today. McAfee.com/keepitreal.
Everyone wants the Emirates NBA Cup.
And things are heating up.
30 teams started. Bang! But only 8 have advanced to the single elimination knockout rounds. To survive, they'll have to be hungry, relentless, ruthless.
Are you kidding me?
They all want the cup, but only one team can claim it. Who will capture the cup? Emirates NBA Cup knockout rounds begin December 9th on Prime.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Dominic Carter here with you on this Monday AM. Let's open up the phone lines. We're about to go to your telephone calls, 800-848-9222. So dealing with our headlines, let's get to it. Some serious headlines, folks. President Trump is back in Washington from Florida, where he spent Thanksgiving. And he says he's about to permanently, did you hear what I said? Permanently stop third world migration by the stroke of his pen. The lovely DMS sent this clip to me. We'll get to that in just a moment. She sent me the clip to my attention. You know, I'm thinking about that senseless California mass shooting that killed 4, including 3 kids at a child's birthday party. The mayor stating that it's gang-related. But before we get to all of that, of course, what's on my mind is what happened to the soldiers, the members of the National Guard, and pretty soon there's going to be a funeral for 20-year-old Sarah Beckstrom. Started the National Guard June of 2023, just 2 years in the Guard. And remember, Sergeant Andrew Wolf, who was also wounded with her, is still fighting for his life. She was shot in the head and chest and did not make it. I want you to listen to Congressman Wesley Hunt of Texas on the shootings.
But I want people to understand something. As somebody that wore the uniform, as somebody that fought in the Middle East, there are people that want to see the end of this country. End of discussion. And if we don't take this seriously, we're going to continue to see more dead Americans. What disappoints me the most is that there are 13 senators, Republicans, that voted for this refugee program. And I also want to commend J.D. Vance for not voting for this program, because at the end of the day, he understands what it means to keep Americans safe. I don't want to be called xenophobic. I don't want to be called racist. I am an American that wants to ensure that we save the lives of my fellow Americans and stop evil demons from trying to destroy us.
I couldn't have said it better. Could not have stated it better. 800-848-9222. I want you to listen to President Trump and his border czar, Tom Homan. And then we're going to go to your telephone calls, Norman in Brooklyn. This is President Trump flying back to the White House aboard Air Force One, declaring that he's about to permanently stop third world migration with the stroke of his pen.
Plan to pause asylum into the U.S.?
I think a long time.
Can you give any kind of time? What's
we
a
don't
long
want those
time?
people. We have enough problems. We don't want those people.
Is that a year, 2 years?
No time limit.
And then
but it could be a long time.
You said that.
We don't want those people. Do you understand that?
I understand.
You understand it?
I understand.
Who are you with?
I'm with News Nation. So
okay,
my
News
name's
Nation,
Libby D.
News Nation. Great. Let me just tell you something. We don't want those people. Does that make sense? You know why we don't want them? Because many of them are no good. and they shouldn't be in our country.
What do you mean by those people? Can you clarify?
People from different countries that are not friendly to us and countries that are out of control themselves. Countries like Somalia that have virtually no government, no military, no police. All they do is go around killing each other. Then they come into our country and tell us how to run our country. We don't want them.
How many countries, roughly, would you put on that list?
She said how many?
Yeah, how many countries, would you put on that list?
Well, I guess we gave you 19, right? And there's probably more than that.
Is that what you mean when you mean third world countries, those 19?
No, I don't think they're all third world, but in many cases they are third world. They're not good countries. They're very crime-ridden countries. They're countries that don't do a good job. They're countries that don't register from the standpoint of success. And we, frankly, don't need their people coming into our country telling us what to do.
When you talk about denaturalizing...
I'm talking about like Somalia, where you have a congressman goes around telling everybody about our Constitution, and yet she supposedly came into our country by marrying her brother.
Oops. Congresswoman Omar. Oops. Those skeletons come out when you criticize people. This is what happens. You know, that dicey little marriage to apparently your brother. I don't know. What do I know? What do I know? What do I know, folks? Before we start the call, thank you, President Trump. Ban them all. Ban them. No, you can't come. What part of N.O. don't you want? Oh, it's unfair. America, the land of the free, the home of the brave. No. N.O. No. Good luck with that. Thank you, President Trump. Before I go to Norman in Brooklyn on line 5, Tom Holman also talking to some of the television shows.
Understand, in these third world nations, they don't have systems like we do. So a lot of these Afghanistans, when they did get here and get vetted, they had no identification at all. Not a single travel document, not one piece of identification. And we're going to count on the people that run Afghanistan, the Taliban, to provide us any information who the bad guys were or who the good guys are? Certainly not. And many people need to understand that most terrorists in this world, most of them, aren't in any database. Because unless they were found on a battlefield by DOD and did a retina scan and did some biometrics there, unless you're part of a T3 undercover investigation, we don't know who they are. So, and the same thing with illegal aliens. Over 10 million that came across the border in Joe Biden. There's no way to vet these people. You think El Salvador or Turkey or Sudan or any of these countries have the databases or system checks that we have? Do you think the government of China, Russia, Turkey, you think they're going to share that data with us even if they did have it? There's no way to clearly vet these people, 100% that they're safe to come in this country from these third world nations. President Trump's doing the right thing, reviewing every one of these people that came under the Biden administration and drilling down on them. I really, truly think that most of them are going to end up being deported because we're not going to be able to properly vet them.
You know, I'm not supposed to say this, folks, but let the church say amen. That's a positive mic drop moment. No, you've got to go. What part of N.O. don't you understand? 800-848-9222. Because as a result of, I'm not going to say corruption. I'm going to say mismanagement from the Biden administration. A 20-year-old woman is about to be buried any day now. Sarah Beckstrom from the West Virginia National Guard, 20 years old, joined the Guard in West Virginia in June of 2023. By November of 2025, she's dead. Killed on a cold street on the ground in D.C., shot in the chest and the head. Let's go to line 5, Norman in Brooklyn. Norman, good morning. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Dominic. Okay, well, Ilhan Omar, Somalia. Somalia, if you talk to other Africans, and I do talk to Africans about other parts of Africa, they will tell you, like from Nigeria or whatever, Kenya, they will tell you, Somali, those people are like, they're not happy unless they're killing each other. This is a nation of warriors. Okay, all they, Black Hawk Down. Do we remember that? For God's sake,
of course.
So they're very good-looking people, from what I can tell. Very good-looking people that like to shoot each other with AK-47s. I believe. You were there.
Young Norman is 11 and 12 years old.
Than I do.
As young as an 11 and 12 years old. Continue, please.
Yeah. We have to be very careful if we vet people from there. I mean, I'm not scared, frankly, of the Islam, that aspect of them. They have this kind of tribal thing. They like to kill. I mean, at least for a lot of them do. I mean, I'm not saying they all do. I mean, was it what's his name? The singer Iman was married. He was married. She was from Somalia. I don't believe she was. I don't think we have to worry about Iman, but David Bowie. But I don't know. It just seems like they got a lot of pretty serious, aggressive people coming out of there. And we have to, vet those things strongly.
What I don't understand, Norman, is this, and it's real simple. Why do their problems have to come here and become our problems? Mm-hmm. Why?
I agree. Listen, I'm all for helping people. I'm all for helping people, but I'm all for helping people in their country. I'm not for I'm not for bringing people here willy-nilly. No, sirree. No, you can't just have people, and you certainly can't have them come in here open borders. Forget about that.
And Congresswoman Haight, she's stating, Jasmine Crockett, if you're going to deport anybody, she just, I see a clip of her. She says, start with the white supremacists. What does that have to do with anything?
It doesn't have anything to do with Somalia. Doesn't have anything to do with Afghanistan. Look, listen. In reality, are there white supremacists in this country? Yes, there are. Okay, a couple like to call some of the shows on WABC. I do, but we don't have scores and scores of them. It's yes, there is a Ku Klux Klan, there is an American Nazi Party, these sort of things, but there are, a couple of, to quote Greg Kelly, there are pretty much toothless people living in caves in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Okay, we don't really, they don't really. They're not really present that much. But yet there are scores and scores of these Antifa lefty lunatics screaming from the river to the sea and globalize the Intifada. Yeah, you got loads of that.
Well, Norman, thank you so much for the wonderful call. I've got to take a break. We have much more coming up, including your telephone calls. I am coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we are back. You listen to this program, Dayside or Nightside. You know that I've been following my friend Tammy Tucci, her health issues, breast cancer, double mastectomy. And I have not commented further, only to say please pray for her. She's had another surgery, and she's got to have another one. And if you look for her on Facebook, she just made a posting, and all I'll say is she says, unfortunately, it's not the best news I have, and referring to her health situation. So all I'll say, friends, is please, I strongly believe in the power of prayer. And if there ever was a time that Tammy needs your prayer, it is now. We always hope that, when you do these public profiles, that everything ends hunky-dory. It's going to be wonderful. And maybe ultimately it'll turn out that way. But as of right now, it is not. It is not turning out that way thus far. Let's go back to your telephone calls on this Monday a.m., wrapping up Thanksgiving. Dominic Carter here with you, 800-848-9222. Line 1, Joaquin in Pennsylvania. Good morning, Joaquin. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Dominic. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I don't know if I had a chance to wish you happy Thanksgiving, but anyway, I'm sorry to say, but the more you listen to these people, these leftists like Crockett, and the rest of them, I don't need to dig for the names right now. What they really seem to want is a white genocide. That they want the white man to sit down and shut up and just submit to whatever agenda they have.
You're correct.
And the thing of it is I am not a racist person. All right? I've had many, many friends, and so far down, going back to the 80s, and when you talk about the N-word, I had, black friends. And believe me, amongst working class guys, that word, was thrown around, but the thing of it is that I don't judge people based, by the skin color, but who the person is. But when you look at the big picture of things, unfortunately, I watched the video on social media of a black migrant, appears to be Haitian, slapping some white girl in the face after he accosts her in the street. Trying to make moves on her or whatever, and she wants nothing to do with him, And when you watch things like this, and of course even South Africa, how they're turning around and they're murdering the farmers and everything like that, these people, unfortunately, they want a genocide. And we have to, in our society, if we don't have the assimilation where people identify as Americans, even as far as history goes, there's things in the past, but the thing of it is that slavery was a worldwide condition. In Africa, the slavery was so bad that even if they weren't sent here, they had it worse if they stayed over there because they were going to be slaves no matter what. And a lot of that slave trade was perpetrated by, the Muslim, by the Muslims, by the Muslim countries over there. And, so we have to wake up and we have to see these things, and there's so many American people, and they got to understand that they're working against them too. And obviously they resent you, because you have, I hate to say it, put it this way, the right point of view. And I really have to ask, like even Norman, where are the white supremacists? Where actually are they? Where's the instances of it? They're really far and few in between. I just think that more and more people are getting more and more fed up, and they want to defend themselves.
I agree with you, and unfortunately, with all of these incidents, and I don't say this lightly, you're going to see some white people in America defending themselves. And then we're going to be in trouble as a country because we can't continue at the pace where we're going. It's unfair. The truth is whites are under attack in America. Time for a break. I'm coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I use Shipt same-day delivery to stay connected with my sister during the holidays. She lives across the country. Shipt has tons of stores to order from. Groceries from Albertsons, crafts from Michael's, even pet supplies from PetSmart. The list goes on. So when we have long-distance movie nights, I turn to Shipt to get face masks, snacks, and everything else we need delivered to her and to me same day. Download the app or visit Shipt.com. That's SHIPT.com.
Introducing Meta Ray-Ban Display, the world's most advanced AI glasses. With a full color display built into the lens of the glasses, it's there when you need it and gone when you don't. Send and receive messages, translate or caption live conversations, collaborate with Meta AI, and more. Be one of the first to try Meta Ray-Ban Display. Visit meta.com/Meta Ray-Ban Display to book a demo and find your pair.
Okay, only 10 more presents to wrap. You're almost at the finish line. But first... there, the last one. Enjoy a Coca-Cola for a pause that refreshes.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Carvana lets you buy your next car on your terms. Explore a massive inventory online, filter for what matters, and find your perfect match. Then choose delivery to your home or pick it up at one of Carvana's iconic car vending machines. Every car also comes with a 7-day money-back guarantee, so you can make sure it's the right fit. Buy your car on Carvana. Delivery or pickup fees may apply. Limitations and exclusions may apply. See our 7-day return policy at Carvana.com.
Carvana.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we are back. This holiday season, help the Red Apple Audio Networks feed those in need. Folks, please go to redappleaudionetworks.com/turkey. Join Red Apple Audio Networks, AARP, New York City, the Police Athletic League, Gristedes, D'Agostino, supermarkets, and nationwide imaging services as we deliver holiday meals. Yes, Thanksgiving is past, but we still have Christmas to more than 5,000 families across the city. Go to redappleaudionetworks.com/turkey. That's redappleaudionetworks.com/turkey. So you two in there, in the on the other side of the glass in the control room, Blaze and Tony. I guess I'll start with you on this one, Blaze. How was Thanksgiving? Tony, how was your Thanksgiving? Guys, tell me, how was it?
Thanksgiving was wonderful. I had Thanksgiving when I came home. I had my little turkey dinner. And it's my once a year. I don't understand, why don't you ever eat stuffing other times of the year? Only
I
on
love the
Thanksgiving.
stuffing. I don't know what my wife put in the stuffing that was different this time, but it was delicious. But you two, one of these shows got me in trouble at home. I got home, and one, I listened to one of our news segments that the market in Hunts Point, that one of the largest selling items for the holidays happens to be collard greens, right?
Really?
And that's a staple in the black community. I don't know about other communities. And so I said, I think on the midnight program, that I think that my wife was making collard greens. And she rolled her eyes at me. She's like, how do you not know? You should know what I'm cooking for Thanksgiving. And I'm like, I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to talk about Trump, Mamdani, and everything in between. I don't know what you're cooking. All I know is stay clear of the kitchen or I'll end up in trouble. So one of you guys got me in trouble. I don't know who got me in trouble. Did you have collard greens, Mr. Blaze? And then Tony, he can tell me what he had. Did you have, and was your turkey moist?
I did not have collard greens. The turkey that I had was good with gravy. I like regular mashed potatoes. I do not like sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes are delicious. We got to school you, Blaze. You're a brother. So we got it, right, Tony? We got to school him.
I like it. I don't know why. It's something because it's sweet. To me, it's not something that goes with turkey. So I had regular mashed potatoes.
Okay.
I had stuffing, of course, and the cranberry sauce, but like the one from the can.
I had she used cranberry for something else, but I didn't have cranberry sauce. I'm like, well, where's the cranberry? No, it's no cranberry sauce. Tony, how was your Thanksgiving?
Mine was fine. I had a moist turkey thanks to my cousin Warren. I didn't have collard greens. I had mac and cheese, carrots, spinach, the rolls, and all of that. But mine was fine, nice and quiet with my two cousins. And then I had to come up to this lovely place and work.
Okay. So wait, one more time, Tony. You had turkey?
Yes, I had turkey. I had we had mac and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
He also made spinach. He had carrots. He also, of course, he had dressing.
Well, you said he.
My cousin Warren.
He can cook?
Oh, yes. He
can really cook?
Oh, Warren can throw down. Yes.
Okay.
Because I called him Friday when I had my leftovers. I said, my compliments again to the chef. He said, thank you.
Wow.
Yes.
And he makes spinach that's really good.
Yes. And I mean, he can bake cakes and pies and all of that. Yes. When Warren was when he was a kid, he wasn't even 13 yet. He would be in the kitchen cooking. Yes. And when you see him, you know he's not missing any meals. We used to call him Buff as a kid, because he reminded us of Buffy from the Fat Boys. Yes, Warren can cook.
So let's see. I had the turkey. It was borderline moist. It was good though. Had ham, which was delicious.
Hey, hold on, I don't want you to get in trouble with your wife. The way you said, it's borderline moist.
Yeah,
I don't want you sleeping with a toothpick in your eye tonight. Okay. Okay, so I'm trying to help you out. Bad enough you got in trouble last week about the collard greens. Okay, so you need to say she's number one. Okay?
Right. Yeah. So she was tight over the fact that I didn't know she was cooking collard greens. How could you not know I'm cooking collard greens? Because I don't know. I do 2 shows a day. And you know that's when I get it home. I'm really gonna get in trouble.
Oh yeah. You might
know
when
I get it home, right?
You know what? This
is her mocking me.
The pillow and the comforter on the couch.
No, this is her mocking me right now.
Okay.
I'm really gonna get in trouble now. This is what she does when she's mocking me in the house. I do 2 shows a day. I am tired. And then,
well, I gotta be honest, Dominic. She's got you down. I mean, she's not saying anything.
She goes. I know. I do 2 shows a day. I'm tired.
Sounds exactly like you.
Does she go boo hoo hoo? Does she do that also?
No, that's you and Blaze.
Okay.
So let's see. The turkey, the ham, the collard greens. It was good. The mac and cheese. I normally don't eat mac and cheese. For some reason, it was really, really good.
Yo, that is the new side dish of Thanksgiving now. Mac and cheese.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
I think that's going to be like a staple now. It's going to be like cranberry sauce, stuffing.
No cranberry sauce. We didn't have cranberry. Don't ask me why we didn't have no cranberry sauce.
Mac and cheese and mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes.
And so she was being nice. She made a diabetic. So a number of you ladies, Liz in Florida and Sandra gave us, these other things for sugar. And so I forgot what it's called, Liz. Please pardon me. So she made a diabetic cheesecake, knowing that I used to love Junior's cheesecakes. And it was really, really good with blueberries on top, because I can have blueberries as a diabetic. And so Thanksgiving food was very, very good. So guys, before I continue on, explain this thing to me. I don't understand. I really don't. And we got political topics to get to. But explain this to me. These women that keep having sex with minors, I don't understand it. I really don't. So this latest case is in Australia. It's made headlines. She was having sex. She's pleaded guilty to this now. So there's no alleged involved. A 15-year-old kid. She just had a baby. The baby's 8 weeks old. She has not said who the father is. Any bar in the world, and I've traveled the world, any bar in the world a woman can walk into, and in 5 minutes she can pick any man at that bar that she wants to take home and sleep with it. And any man will be like, me. So why does this happen, guys? And it keeps happening. I don't understand. I want to hear both of you, but either one of you start.
I think it's a psychological problem. But like you said, I've been in bars and clubs where a woman can come in and pick any guy that she wants, eeny, meeny, miny, no.
Literally.
I just don't get it. Maybe, I don't know, because when I was in high school, none of my teachers, and not that I wanted to sleep with any of my teachers, were trying to hit on me.
Of course not.
But now, these teachers nowadays, because I saw the young lady in Australia, like, wow.
Right.
I mean,
she's cute.
Yeah, so she doesn't have to mess with a 15-year-old. So something must be wrong with her mentally.
And she was talking about a toy that she played with the 15-year-old.
See, now wow. Okay, so we're going kind of kinky now.
Right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you're into.
Yeah, hey, if it works for you, it works for me.
Whatever floats your boat, it's cool. Blaze, do you have an explanation for this?
The only thing I can think of is that it's like a kink, you know what I mean? Like it's a fetish to be with, I hate to say it like this, an underage person, which is kind of nasty because it's illegal. But I don't understand. Like you said, she's cute. I saw her. She could have any man she wants, but she's texting, and I saw about how they were taking each other. She was about taking him off of Snapchat and a contact, and it was a whole thing that she didn't want to do it. Well, should we do it? Should we not do it? It was a whole relationship, and the only thing I can think of is it's got to be some sort of a fetish. In the same way people have certain fetishes, this has to be classified as that because you know it's wrong. And maybe that's the other thing, like because you know it's so wrong, it becomes attractive, but it's illegal. It's someone who's underage. You're now shaping this person's mind for the rest of their life. It can affect them. And I don't think the people that do this really think in those terms. They're thinking about themselves. And the most famous was Mary Kay Letourneau. Remember
that the woman upstate New York?
Yeah, I mean, she died. But remember, she was a teacher. She was married. She had kids. and the kid was in 6th grade, and then they ended up getting married later on and having more kids.
Wow.
So there's got to be something wrong with you. Remember, she couldn't even stay away from him. They kept saying you got to stay away from him, and she kept going back to jail. And I mean, so it's got to be some kind of psychological problem. It has to be.
Because I will never understand why correction officers, and guys, I got to move on, but I will never understand why correction officers, city, state, sleep with these losers in jail because they can run game. I mean, is it because these officers are lonely in the middle of the night? I mean, you're having unprotected sex with these guys that probably have diseases that they're gonna give you something, and I don't get it.
Now, I used to date a young lady that was a correctional officer in Texas, and I used to ask her because there was a couple of females that she worked with got fired because they were sleeping with several of the inmates, and I asked her like what's going on, and she says, Tony, these guys got the gift for gab. I mean, they don't. No, they don't. That's what she told me. I mean, but
right. They believe.
Yeah, they believe.
If you got the gift of gab, you ain't in jail.
Yeah, and I asked her. So, what are you trying to say? Did you fall by the wayside? Like, no.
She
but I'm
tell you.
Yeah, but she knew better. But
right, she knew better to tell you.
Yeah. But I'm like. There's nothing any female can tell me that's behind bars. Oh, Tony, you're fine and all of that, blah, 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 that I'm going to risk my career for. It's not.
And your freedom.
Exactly.
Freedom. Guys, thank you very much. Let's get back to the topics at hand now. In terms of what's going on in the country with these Afghan nationals and so on, I want you to hear this. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem just confirmed that there are up to 100,000 Afghans in America right now that were let in under President Biden, and that now has to all be re-examined.
That's the irresponsibility that has completely devastated our country, Kristen, put us in such a dangerous position. I don't think people realized when Joe Biden was in the White House exactly how he was allowing our country to be infiltrated with people that we didn't know who they were. Some of them we did know were dangerous, and we went after as soon as they came into this country. But under this program, we could have up to 100,000 people that came in from Afghanistan that may be here to do us harm. And President Trump is absolutely dedicated to getting them out of our country.
100,000. Think about that. Chew on that. Let's go to line one, Gail in Manhattan. Gail, what's on your mind?
I wanted to make a comment about the teachers sleeping with the students. And you say that any woman can go into a bar and have her choice of men. Well, I had worked for years as a substitute teacher in New York City public high schools. Not that I was ever involved with a student, but the issue might be is a lot of these students, these teenage boys, are cuter than most of the men you're going to see in the bars. And if women have their, I don't think any woman
Gail,
has a choice of any.
Gail, I gotta tell you something,
bar.
Gail. Gail, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I love you, Gail. You know why I love you, Gail? Because you're being brutally honest. And not only do they find them more handsome, but more physically attractive.
Yes, that's my point.
And so they don't want the guy in the bar; they want the cute young boy.
Well, not all men in bars are so attractive, and the good-looking ones. Not every woman can have the best-looking guy in the bar, and what can I say? A lot of teenage boys. I don't know from personal experience, but
wait, Gail. No, I understand not from but Gail, come on now, Gail. Any woman can walk into a bar and pick any man and say, "Let's go back to my apartment." And dude is like, "Where's my check?" And he's gone.
I disagree.
Wow, that's interesting. So tell me why you disagree quickly.
I don't think any woman can have any man at the bar. She cannot always get the most attractive man. They are discerning too, you know. Yeah, you can get any bum sitting on a bar stool.
But you don't want the bum, right, Gail?
That's right. You want the debonair metrosexual,
And
no,
Gail, let's
yeah.
keep it real. You want the bad boy, right?
You want someone physically attractive with some je ne sais quoi, savoir-faire. I can't speak for all women.
Ooh, Gail, thank you so much for the wonderful call. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
now. From New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And let's go back to your telephone calls. Line 3, Jerry in New Jersey. Jerry, good morning. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Dominic. My personal experience with specific Muslim people that I knew is reminiscent of a lot of things that I'm seeing when I look back and I look at the couple in California that shot up their office, and I look at the guy, the soldier who shot up his platoon, Muslim guy, and I look at the airline pilot that crashed his plane one time, the Muslim guy took the plane down. One of the things that I notice is why I think it's hard to vet them is you have people, in an instance, the people that I knew, he's an engineer, he's in his 50s, he's in the country 15 years, he never even had a traffic ticket, he's got a 4-bedroom house, 4 kids in college, he was well-adjusted, he's an engineer, a professional man. He's an immigrant from India, but he was Muslim, and that's a minority in India. But he got mad, and he started threatening to blow up houses, and he ended up being caught with loaded guns. He was threatening to kill some people. So this is right in the Northeast here. It's many decades ago, but the thing I'm getting at is it's hard to vet these people because they look very normal, and they look very successful, and they are, and yet something triggers in them from, I guess, the religious doctrine and some cultural things, and they get very furious about some things that America does, like New Step on their soil, their imams during the mosque, during the preaching at the mosque, right here in places which I don't want to point out, but there's some very tough preaching going on when Americans touch the soil in Arabia, that peninsula. And it's worse than GD America. Some of these imams
I hear you, Jerry. I hear you. But the vetting process, we have to be sure that a vetting process exists. And under the Biden administration, I don't think it did with these Afghan nationals. I just don't. Because there are those folks that are saying this guy in the D.C. case should have never, ever, ever been in the country. Thank you for the call, Jerry, and should not have been in the country because of the special training that he received working with special ops and so on, and the CIA in Afghanistan. Let's go to line 1, Martin, upstate. Martin, what's on your mind?
Hey there, mister. I was thinking about what that lady said. She's right, She's right. When I used to be out in the bar.
Wait, you're referring to Gail, and you're talking about dating or whatever the case?
I'm talking about dating and being in bars. Okay. I used to do that myself. And, it didn't matter how much I had to drink. If a woman was not attractive, I didn't need her. I could judge pretty well if I needed her or didn't. She's right. Not any woman.
Come on, Martin. It's different for men and women. Women have much more of a choice. Come on, Martin. You're not being honest. Men are not going to turn down anything.
I'm being totally honest.
Martin, men are dogs. Men are not going to turn down anything. Women are much more selective, and they have a much bigger choice.
Man, I wanted a hottie.
You're talking over me, so I'll just stop talking. Go ahead.
I'm not telling you that I got many. I didn't get many, but I wouldn't settle for no fugly girl.
Right, but it's different for a man and a woman. A woman that walks into a bar, Martin, can pick. Yeah. I know Gail disagreed, but a woman walking into a bar if there's 10 men, she can pick 1 out of 10. And in my opinion, all 10 will say, "Sweetie, I'm going home with you."
Maybe some other guy, but not me. No, she had to be hot. She had to be hot. It didn't matter how much
Martin
I
says she's
drank.
gotta
I
be
could
hot.
tell. I could tell.
She's got to be hot, guys. Martin, thank you for the call. Guys, Martin says she's got to be hot. What do you guys say?
The key phrase in what Martin said was, I didn't get many.
Touche. That's good. Folks, I will be back at 3 p.m. Eastern Blaze. I'm glad one of us is thinking quickly because that's exactly what he said. He didn't get many. You two have a great shift. I'll be back at 3 p.m. Eastern. Have a great day, folks.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy.
Download and subscribe
at BeBullish.com.